Niall, it's good to see you. Last time we spoke, you're preparing to be one of the first British sides to welcome fans into a stadium. That all went very, very well. Now we're looking at a month to the big kickoff. It's important that fans come in because they're as important to you as pre-season is to Tiernan and the rest of the boys.
Yes, James. It's been a busy month. It's been a very productive month. We've worked very, very hard behind the scenes, safety officers, stewards, volunteers, to try and facilitate these pre-season matches. And we've been calling them test events, James, because there's been so much more because of the current climate going on here than just pre-season games ordinarily. There's a lot of work going on in the background in terms of us trying to manage safely our spectators coming in and out of the stadium, manage their experience safely within the stadium during the game. And obviously we're testing the protocols that we've put in place and the measures that we've put in place to safely manage our capacity. And ultimately, every time that we can demonstrate that at the capacity that we've been granted, then that allows us to increase that capacity going forward. So we always knew this was going to be an incremental process. We're left with a number of test events remaining before the big kickoff, and the ultimate aim is to be in a comfortable position to facilitate as many spectators as possible for the big kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, I know speaking to Larne fans, they're desperate for the 17th to come round. But I mean, you talk about the numbers there and working on 600. If you get 600 in it tests, then theoretically, when it all kicks off on the 17th, you could get more. And that's got to be your message to the fans who are kind of umming and ahhing about coming on Saturday, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? I couldn't have put it better myself, James. Yes, the spectators have been great. They've come out and they've supported us. It is pre-season. Pre-season's not always for everyone. We get that. But this year in particular, that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes here. And our ultimate goal is to reach the highest possible capacity within the guidelines that are being set currently, to reach the highest possible capacity that we can so that we can facilitate as many spectators when we come to the business end. That's our season ticket holders and general sale tickets as well.
And imagine the plain and simple facts of the council are saying, look, if you don't get 600 in, how can we give you more when it comes down to the crunch?
Yeah, exactly. And council have been very accommodating, as have the SGSA and Sport NI. They've all been very, very supportive, and they're wanting to share information with us. They're wanting us to share our experiences with them. But yes, the only way that for ourselves as well, comfort for ourselves, that we know that the guidelines are safe, because we take safety of our spectators very, very seriously. We have to stress our guidelines by going right to the maximum capacity in order to try and increase that for the next game. So yes, it's given us work, but it's very, very important work, and it gives people confidence then going forward that we can cope with increased capacity.
You know, when I say it, that I'm telling the truth. I can't wait to be at Inver Park for next season. But what's the feedback been like from the fans who have been there for the test event so far?
Genuinely, James, they've been fantastic, and the feedback has been brilliant. And I'm sure part of that is because there's been 5 months without football, now 6 months. So that has probably played a significant part in that. But no, they've been fantastic in how they've supported us. They've been fantastic in how they've embraced the experience. And to be perfectly honest, every game and every test event that we deliver, we see it returning closer to normal. You know, there's an increased atmosphere, there's an increased buzz around the stadium, and yes, you don't not ordinarily get that in pre-season, so that's fine, that's comparable, but we genuinely see it building up towards the 17th of October.
And I know, speaking to Tiernan, you know, he values obviously as many supporters as can come in and support the team. But I mean, from a fan's perspective, it's a chance to see some of these new players who are going to be playing for Larne next season, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a chance to see the new players. It's a chance to get familiar with them. Look, footballers love the atmosphere. We've made no bones about that. Tiernan's been very vocal over the years. We've worked hard through our supporters liaisons and our supporters clubs to try and build that up, and we have one of the best atmospheres now in the country. So yes, the more spectators that we can get in, the more we can build the atmosphere. But in order to get more spectators in, we've got to go through these test phases, these test events as best as possible, and we've got to try and maximise our capacity throughout these.
Yeah, I know you want 600 on Saturday, and hopefully this will do the job and get you the 600 you want. But you also want people in bubbles rather than coming individually, don't you?
Well, yes. You know, there's many different ways. If you read through the 84-page document that the SGSA have issued us, there's many different combinations in which we can accommodate as many spectators as possible. The best way or the best formula to do that is for people to sit in bubbles of 6. Now that's very, very difficult for people, but there are potentially opportunities where people can plan ahead and they could come in groups. It's bubbles of 6 and from a maximum of 2 households. So we accept that doesn't necessarily work for everyone. But if there's a wee bit of planning that can go into that, and people can organise themselves and organise their bubbles in advance, that allows us to squeeze every seat and every ticket out that we can.
Just a final point, I think it is, as you say, 5 months, I think, since Mark Randall's goal gave you a win over Glenarvan, and then everything kind of shuttered down. How much excitement is there behind the scenes? There's only a month to go, and it actually looks like there is some light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, look, excitement is really building now, and I think the fixtures are due to come out in the next couple of days, which will really increase the excitement, and hopefully we can get to a position then where we're able to reissue season tickets and then put additional season tickets on sale, and that will really build the excitement. The new kit being launched, the new sponsors being announced, has all helped to ramp it all up. And look, there's a real excitement behind the scenes. It's been a long 5 months. The hardest day of the week, without a doubt, has been a Saturday to get by. We all love our football. We don't know what the future holds in terms of spikes and lockdowns. Hopefully, the one thing that can remain throughout this, if there are unforeseen circumstances ahead, is that we can get to our football on a Saturday, and we can accommodate as many people as possible on a Saturday when they're at their football. So, fingers crossed.
I did the classic thing of asking a final question, then asking you another question. But having had hands on the strip, because my son's got a Larne shirt, the away shirt, which is just beautiful. What's it been like, the reaction to that? Because I don't think I've seen a better Larne kit in terms of the way it looks and the way it kind of evokes the past.
Well, James, to be honest, we've hit record sales this year in terms of our club shop, and that's without having a shop on site that people can come in and actually touch and feel the apparel themselves. So an online shop which has done record sales and continues to be high in demand. The training gear and the kits themselves have been really, really well received. But to be honest, we really worked hard with our supplier Club Sport this year to plan ahead. We've been planning this since January, and fingers crossed it continues to be successful. And people have been fantastic in how they've supported the club. It's another avenue in which they can support the club by buying through the club shop. So it's been much appreciated, and fingers crossed it continues.
Top stuff.